So without the story of Job, we do not know why Jesus suffered. Because Jesus suffered not due to his own sin. Job suffered is that God allowed that to happen. God wants to use his suffering to glorify God's name. And the suffering is also very similar. It's not only physical, it's also mental. Let's read. So you can see that Job was spit on. Job was despised by those who used to hire those who he used to hire to help his sheep. Those people despise him, and he felt like he was forsaken. Even like his friends tried to fight fault with him. Let's read chapter 30, Job chapter 30, from 8 to 15. 30 from 8 to 15. Ariana Hwang. Is Ariana here? To spit in my face. 11. Yeah. When I read Chinese translation, I also enjoy reading verse 15. Chinese translation also very beautiful translation. Terrors are turned upon me. They push my honor as the wind, and my prosperity has passed like a cloud. Very beautiful description, isn't it? Prosperity has like a cloud drifting away. My honor has blown away in the wind. And those sons of Baal, they just bully me, right? Just bully me, spit on him, despise him, yeah. And so you can see Jesus was spit on, and Jesus was forsaken. So they are similar as well, right? And both did not sing with their mouth in their suffering. So you might feel agony, you might feel painful, but it still can zip your mouth, right? That's not easy. But you do not sing against with your mouth. Let's read chapter 1, Job 1:22. Job chapter 1, verse 22. Enoch Liu, 1:22. Yeah. He did not sin nor judge God with wrong. Judge God with wrong in Chinese translation, 以口换罪, 是吗? Oh, can you read verse 22 in Chinese, please? Oh, 不以神为遗忘. There are other verses that talk about he did not. Let's read chapter 2, verse 10. Chapter 2, verse 10. Megan, chapter 2, verse 10. In all this, Job did not sin with his lips, right? So it's not easy. I mean, the Bible says if no one can find fault with your words, you are a perfect person. And the Bible also says that in the last days, every word you say will be 供出来, will be judged. Every word. So words is so, words reflect our heart. Our human body is a vessel of hearts. This is Chinese saying, right? 人者心之气也. Human body is a vessel of hearts. So Jesus said, whatever is in your heart, naturally it will come out of the mouth. So the good things, 人从心里所存的善就发出善来，人从心里所存的恶就 I'm sorry, because I memorized Bible in English. I need to translate for myself. So the good things that are hidden in your heart, you will utter it with your mouth. The bad things that is hidden in your heart will also come out from your mouth. So so you can see that Jesus and Job, they do not sing with their lips. People are emotion, but express emotion, like you can be angry, but you do not sing. Understand? You can be angry, but you don't need to sing. Sometimes if you do not get angry, it's a sin. Your mother steals people's purse. You don't get angry, you sing. Okay? Your sibling cheat in their test. You don't get angry. It's not right. All the unrighteousness is sin. So angry is not sin itself. But so the Bible says, be angry, but do not sin. Right? So and so everybody emotion. Emotion is not necessarily a sinful thing. Like sometimes you are sad, you're angry, right? But Jesus and Job, they did not sing with their lips. Both are able to overcome Satan. Now you can see, so God allows Satan to bully Job. Now, when you are fall into the hands of Satan, Satan really will push you to extreme. Like if God wants to give trial to a person, right? Like your father tried to discipline you, he will not like do things in a very cruel way, because it means good for you. It's love from you, right? But if you run into gangster, it's totally different story. They will cut off your belly, take away your kidney, right? To sell for money. They will push you to extreme. Satan is like that, no? So that's why when a person fall into the hand of Satan, like God says that just do not take away his life, right? Don't take away Job's life. The rest of it, we can do whatever. Just reserve his life, right? Then, of course, Satan will be very happy. Now, I want to take away your money, zero, nothing left. I want to take away your children, no one children left. I want to bully your health, like from top to bottom. You'll be in trouble. That's how Satan is, right? But Job was able, again, maintain the integrity, using his life to prove that God is right. So he can overcome. And in Matthew 4, you can see Jesus also overcomes Satan, especially when Jesus was hungry, right? When you are fasting, do you feel hungry? My honesty words for you is that when you are fasting, try not to get too close to the kitchen. It's really tempting to give your dog a biscuit and tell him no, right? If you give your dog a biscuit and tell him no, what will your dog react? Looking at you, right? Looking at the cookie. You, cookie, start drawing, yeah? No kosui, right? Start to draw with saliva. Anyway, so if you are fasting, don't get close to dining hall. Anyway, but what I'm trying to say, overcoming Satan. Satan talked to Jesus. If you're hungry, turn all the stone into bread. Can Jesus do that? Was Jesus able to do that? Of course, Jesus can even raise up children from the rock, children of Abraham from the rock. God is almighty. 说有就有，命立就立. He can say and things are there. That there be light and light is there, right? So, but how can you listen to Satan? So, yeah, Satan, go away. Go behind me, right? So Jesus overcome Satan just like Job used their life to overcome Satan. Both pray for their enemies or the one who persecuted them. Now, this is very important. When you are here praying a lot, I don't know if you have anyone that you hate. Maybe hate, you will say, oh, no, I don't hate anybody. But recently I heard a saying of definition of hate is that extremely dislike. Is there anyone that you dislike very much? extremely do not like that person. 一见你就讨厌，再见你就伤心. Anybody are like this in your life? Then this is hate, really. I mean, so Job was able to pray for his friends that who really, when they are debating, they are really, some of them are really very cruel, right? Let's read chapter 42, verse 10. 42:10. Ken Chao, please read. The Lord restored Job's losses when he prayed for his friend. Indeed, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. So when is the turning point? When was the turning point for Job's? Starting from intercession. So my point is that when you pray a lot over here, right, you should think about, is there anyone you extremely dislike, including your family member, maybe your mom, your dad, your sibling? Because the Bible says your enemy could be from your home, right? They know you most, but they know how to push the button. So they annoy you the most also. But like your situation will turn around when you show your love to them and pray for them. And Jesus, of course, prayed for the one who persecuted him, just like Stephen did also, right? Both were in better position after suffering. Jesus was lifted up to the right-hand side of God and sitting beside God, lifted up to a glorious position. And Job was blessed, double, with earthly stuff. So when you talk about blessing, New Testament time focus more on earthly stuff. Old Testament time focus more on earthly possession. New Testament time focus more on spiritual perspective. All right, we share about Jesus and Christ. To know the reason of suffering may not have to do with your own iniquities. Now, Job was a righteous person. This has been proved not only by Job 1:1, the author, actually, Job himself, said that he was right. But even Elihu suggests that maybe your trouble is only self-righteousnesses, not because of your iniquities. And you self-righteous, proclaim that you are self-righteous is also a sin, actually. This is the point of Elihu. Let's read Job 33. Job 33, verse 29. 29 to 33. Ethan Hwang. I desire to justify you, right? Of course, this is not totally talk about Job was total a good man, totally a righteous man. But really, if you read the contents of, he did not say Job committed sin. Just only thing that he had is really self-righteousnesses. Okay, and other Old Testament also confirm that Job was a righteous person. Ezekiel chapter 14, verse 14. Ezekiel 14:14. Ivy Chen. 14:14. Ivy. So God mentioned three righteous persons over here. One is Noah, the other one is Daniel, the third one is Job. So, the Old Testament confirmed that Job was a righteous person. Even God called him the servant of God 3 times in the book of Job. Right? You try to find that out. Where does it record it? Job insists himself that he was a righteous person. Even David was not against the idea that Job was a righteous man. Let's read Job chapter 1. Job chapter 1, verse 9. 1 verse 9. 1 verse 9, Anthony Shah. Job fear God. Even say that no, Job fear God. But does he fear God for nothing? So I'm not against you, God, that he was a righteous person. But is it for nothing? Because you protect him too well. That's why, right? Yeah. Okay, so we know that. So you got a concept that Job was a righteous person. Or even like a book of in the New Testament. James also commented that he was a good guy. He had a very good perseverance, right? James chapter 5, verse 11. James 5:11. James 5:11. Jeremiah Sekayapo. James 5:11. Yeah, so you should learn from Job's perseverance, right? This is commented by the elder James. So we can see that he was a good guy. Yeah. All right. How did Job fear God? Today we want to talk about Job fear God. You want to? I'm sorry. Today you want to learn how to fear God. Number one, you should be a man of prayer. You are a godly person. How do you prove that you are a godly person? You prove that you are a man of prayer. And you departed from evil in good time, and hold fast to his integrity, your integrity in bad times, right? So Job prayer, he offered prayer for his children very often, right? Let's turn to chapter 1, verse 5. Jamie Liu, Lu, chapter 1, verse 5. That Job did it regularly. That's Job did regularly. So he always pray for his children to intercede for them. And he pray according to their number, means that one by one, right? 10, like 10 person call their name in their prayer, name their name in their prayer, in his prayer, to pray for them. How many of you ever pray for your family member? Raise your hand. You pray for your family member? You pray for your IE teacher? You pray for your pastor? You do. Thank God. Thank you. We shall pray for one another. Again, I told you that he prayed for his friend. Therefore, he turned back from his suffering. Right? That is the key point. So he prayed for his friend, and he prayed at any time. So when you read the story of Book of Job, he always in his saying of something, he can sense that actually that content was a praying, right? So, maybe we read this one already. Chapter 1, verse 20 says that, then Job arose, tore his robe, shaved his head, fell to the ground, and worshipped. And he said, this is a prayer. So in suffering, he prayed to God. He knelt down. Actually, this is a gesture of, a lot of time if you read fasting prayer, they always shave their head, tear their robes. A lot of gesture related to this have to do with fasting in prayer. Yeah. And sometimes you see when they are debating, he talk about praying to God too. Like read chapter 7, verse 11. 7:11. Hwang. To 12. That's good enough, right? So you see, they are debating at this time, right? And he will speak in his anguish of my spirit. I will speak in my anguish of my spirit. Then the content looks the content as if he was praying. He was praying to God. God, am I a sea or a sea serpent that you set a guard over me? Right. So as if he was praying, even like he was debating with friends. Now you can see it differently, but this is my feeling. Now even after seeing God came out, speak to him in the whirlwind. After that, he continued to talk to God, right? In the form of, when we talk to God, of course, it is a prayer. Let's read chapter 40, verse 3 and 4. 43 and 4. 3 and 4, Joseph Lin. Yeah. So God talked to him, and then he talked to God. So this is also a prayer after he see God, right? So this is how we fear God, how we dare to proclaim. Yes, I think at least I try to be a godly person. I try to honor God. This is how I honor God. How did the Bible say that Cornelius was a righteous person? Two things, because he prayed. And then he give alms to other people. That's why the Bible says that he was a righteous person, by these two things, right? So you are here to train your prayer, my brethren. I think some of you, maybe many of you, you don't offer a lengthy time or long time prayer, right? Over here, you have choices to pray at lunch hour or dinner hour, or you can choose to pray for a period of time before you partake your lunch, right, or dinner. I really urge you to cherish this opportunity. We should learn prayer in prayer. I mean, prayer is a mystery, right? How can you describe, even though we receive a lot of teaching from the Bible concerning prayer already, but to me, prayer is, sometimes, can you imagine that it's a time you talk to God? And how do I teach people concerning talking to God, of the feeling with God? To me, really, you got to learn how to pray in your prayer. Sometimes you will have personal inspiration, personal enlightenment, personal, understanding. So if you do not spend time with prayer, is only a theory, or maybe once in a while you are able to touch God, but really it's well, the Bible called it training of godliness. Kneel down over here is like you're doing push-up 50 times, right? Later on increase to what? 100 times, 200 times, right? Doing push-ups is painful. Like, how many of you can do 200 times? I don't think you can do. How many of you can do 200 push-up? You can do 200 push-up. Wow. I think maybe when I was in the army, I probably able to do it. Not anymore, right? Now 20 is. Like, prayer is the same thing. You are not trained. Many times you will lose focus, lose your concentration. But again, how do you train it? Keep doing it, right? How do you train to do push-up? You keep doing it. So this is a golden opportunity to train your godliness. Training your body have some benefits, but training your godliness have the benefit of this life and the life to come, according to 1 Timothy, right? So I know nobody likes suffering, but sometimes 吃苦就是吃不误. Sorry, to suffer is a nutrition. Yeah, suffering is a nutrition. Yeah, and just like many of you do not like bitter melon. Any of you love bitter melon? Some of you love many of you love bitter melon. Some boys do not even eat vegetables, according to my understanding. Right? Yeah. Please eat your vegetables. Okay? Or where am I? 我讲到哪里了? Oh yeah, you need to train yourself in your prayer. That's my point. Now, departing from evil. Chapter 31, verse 1, we already read, right? I make a covenant with my eyes. How can I 念念瞻望处女呢? How can I look at girls with lustful eyes? Now, this is departing from evil in good times. Now, when I was in E2, I already memorized chapter 31, verse 1, I believe. E2, or, I think it was in E2. So, but how do you make a covenant with your eyes? How do you do that? Because I wear glasses, right? So one thing that I do is that when I feel like I cannot control my eyes, just take my eyeglasses off. I see no evil and feel no evil, right? So this is how you make your covenant with your eyes. How about that? What do you think? Yeah. Anyway, this is only a suggestion for you. Yeah, and once I even when I go to share my personal way of make a covenant with my eyes. And when I go to the library, right, sometimes I do not look at girls lustfully, but girls are just good things in young person's life, right? Just like a magnet. You just feel like they are so attractive, right? So what do? Because sometimes when they pass by, you can smell their smell. 女人的味道, right? Sometimes you can smell that. So even though I take off my eyeglasses, I can still smell girls, right? So what do? Like when I go to the library, there's a textbook over here. There's a Bible over here, right? So when I smell the girls, hey, Bible is over here. No, don't put on your glasses. So Bible also reminding, that's my point. Anyway, so departing from evil, a good time, right? But I think most important is guard your heart eventually. You think that, because I'm still a student, those type of things will happen naturally. Dating will happen before I get married or whatever, right? Naturally. Now it's not the right time. You guard your heart first. I think it's more important than anything else, right? Let's read 31 verse 5. 31 verse 5. Here talk about he really do good things, do good right things, even though he is not in suffering, right? He was in good time. Chapter 31, verse 5. Shall we have Tiana? Tin Chao Xu. Verse 6. Yeah. If I have walked with false food, or if my foot have hastened to deceit, let me be weighted on honest scales, that God may know my iniquities. Right? So he was very careful, even in his daily life, that he tried to shy away from evil. There are many other verses you shall read by yourself, right? But in suffering, he still want to hold his integrity. I do not want to sin. I do not want to curse God. I insist that I will not, forsake God, like many people does, right? Chapter 2. Verse 5, chapter 2, verse 5. Chapter 2, verse 5, Felice 10. Yeah. Satan says that he will surely curse you to your face. But did Job do that? No. This is my personal feeling. This chart is only for reference. How painful, how much suffering is Job's suffering? This is my personal feeling, right? Now, if you lose your property, let's say you are a person you are a content person. Property is 身外之物, right? You can gain it in the future. So maybe 50% feeling of pain, 50% of painful feeling, right? I lost my properties. But you lost your children, all of them. How can I take it? Or maybe you think, maybe I still have a wife. My wife still can give birth to a baby, right? So, okay, I will take it. Life is in the hands of God. Okay, 75% of suffering. Then I lost my health. Now I cannot even what? I cannot even kneel down and pray. I cannot even hold the hymn books and sing hymn. That's why do you need to memorize verses or memorize hymn books? Because I learned that in a hard way. When I was sick and lying in the hospital, I have no strength to read Bible. How can you? No strength at all. So I can only memorize all the Bible verses, all the hymns that I memorize and keep singing. Because at that time, those are the only comfort. Those are only comfort you can have, right? So when you lose health, probably only God can, only those hymns and those words can be a comfort. So it could be what? 90% of suffering. And you have friends attack. Come on, they visit you and they seems like they're mainly good, but they always try to use a knife to poke you. And you feel such, like Job says that, 你们都是没有用的医生. You are useless doctor, right? You try to come to help me, but you are useless. Because you keep pouring salt in my wound, right? And then, God is indifferent. You are my only hope. You my only Savior. And you do not answer me. No matter how hard I cry out, there's no answer. So to me, again, this is only for reference. Suffering plus suffering. Suffering after suffering, right? Who can take it? Who can take it that when God never answers your prayer? When you need Him most? And your friends show their concern, but no, they only add to your suffering. Right? Now you have nothing left in your life anymore. Your wife, I don't know. The Bible never talk about Job's wife. When Job's wife says that, curse God and die, what happened after that? And then later on, he have 10 more children. Is it from the same woman? Do you think that the same woman can give 20 children, give birth to 20 children? Can? Okay, I don't know. The Bible is silent. Huh? The Bible is silent to all this. So when Job, how many women will leave their husband when they have nothing left? And when they remain, when she remains, she got to take care of the sick husband. I don't know for how long, right? Yeah, I don't know. The Bible is silent to this. But to just let you know that, this is extreme suffering, really, when you fall into the hands of Satan. So, my brethren, I'm telling you, right? After you are baptized in TJC, do not go back to worship idol. Otherwise, you will become the target of Satan's bully. I saw this with my physical eyes in my generation. Those who are baptized in TJC and go back to worship idol, they are the target of bully of Satan, right? Be aware of this, right? You are of course, God can put your soul to Hades. It is from God, and God can use Satan to bully you too. Now, so what are the different views of suffering? I think this will for sure be on your test, right? And you should give me an example. Why is that, right? Because the book is talk about suffering, and there are different views of suffering. For Job's friends, suffering is for chastising. You sin, God will punish you. So therefore, the main purpose of suffering is to what? Because you sin, therefore God punish you. Maybe chastising is not the right word. Maybe punishing is a better word. Can I change to punishing? But Bible use the word chastise. Anyway, this is my feeling. Okay, let's read Job 5:17. Well, if you use chastising, I will take it also. 5:15. Because this is exactly the word Bible used, yeah? Jordan. Kehidi. 17, behold, happy is the man whom God corrects. Therefore, do not despise the chasten of the Almighty. Right? All his friends' view is that you sin, therefore you are chastised. Therefore, God punish you. Right? This is one understanding of suffering. We just mentioned Deuteronomy 28, you do not listen to God. Then these students come to ask a question. But how about Gentiles if they do not know the words of God? How do God determine to, what is the rule of God? If you do not know the word of God, you still have conscience, right? Let's read Romans chapter 2. Chapter 2, verse 15 to 14 to 15. 2, 14 to 15. 那个刚刚问问题的弟兄，请你读。Chapter 2, verse 14 to 15. Okay, so the law is not only written in the 2 tablets. The law is written in people's hearts. You ask the people walking the street, do you think honoring your parents is right? What is their answer? Of course it is right. Do you think killing is right? Of course it is wrong. How do they know the answer? Because of their conscience. 良心啊, conscience. Because their conscience, right? So the law is written in people's heart. And this conscience can excuse you or accuse you. In Chinese translation, 或以为是,或以为非, I think English is really better translation. Your conscience will accuse you. Yeah, you did this, right? It's wrong. There's a little voice in your head. It is wrong. And this little voice in your head. Yes, thank God I did this. I give my mother a hug every day. This is right. I should do that. Right? This is your conscience, right? So even though they don't have law, they should follow their conscience. But how many people can truly follow 100% of their conscience? If people can truly follow 100% of their conscience, Jesus do not need to come to this world, right? That's why the blood of Jesus is to wash away the uncleanness of your conscience. Turn to Hebrew. Chapter 9, verse 14. Hebrew chapter 9, verse 14. We are deviate a little bit, but because this is one of the questions. Hebrew 9:14. Jackson. Yeah. His blood will cleanse your conscience. Therefore, it won't be condemned to death, and you can serve the living God. Yeah, so that's why we need the blood of Jesus Christ. We will continue on these slides. I think time is up. We shall kneel down and pray.